how quickly things can change in a 24-hour period. Welcome to 7-Eleven That's Hockey. Alongside our hockey insider, Darren Dreger, I'm Gino Reda. Okay, Dregs, when you and I talked on Insider Trading yesterday, you painted a picture of Gallagher possibly being on his way out of Montreal if things didn't turn around really quickly. Well, apparently they turned around really quickly. What happened?
Well, you're right. 24 hours ago, I was suggesting that, Montreal Canadiens fans should look into the future and look at a future in Montreal without Brendan Gallagher. Look, Jerry Johansson, who represents Brendan Gallagher, he's a player agent, is one of the most optimistic player agents that I know. And when I spoke to him on Tuesday, he didn't see much optimism moving forward in the negotiations between Gallagher and the Canadiens because of how rigid Marc Bergevin and the Montreal Canadiens were being in the negotiation. There was a miscommunication. There was some form of misunderstanding, and you have to appreciate that it's not always just the general manager and the player agent involved. There are other parties on both sides. So Jerry Johansson and Marc Bergevin, the general manager for the Montreal Canadiens, started talking again. And today they had about 3-4 phone calls within a 1-hour period and hammered out a 6-year deal with a $6.5 million annual average salary that keeps Brendan Gallagher in Montreal long term. That, Gino, is how you get business done.
I see that, you catalyst, you. Well, listen, the right side for the Habs up front right now is pretty stacked. Gallagher, Toffoli, Anderson. So what's next?
It's going to be interesting to watch what Berge does moving forward here. We're so used to talking about the Montreal Canadiens and their cap space availability. Well, the Montreal Canadiens are no longer a team with cap space. In fact, it's likely that Bergevin is going to have to move out a piece. When you look at the right side, as you identify, they are incredibly deep on that right side. They're solid up front. There are some who wonder about the inexperience up the middle of the ice with Kotkaniemi and Nick Suzuki. I'm not so sure that's valid. And then you've got Danault, arguably, as your third-line center. So if there is a piece that's likely to move, it might be on defense. It might be one of their depth defensemen, and it could be a young defenseman like Victor Mete. But Marc Bergevin hasn't shown his hand to any of us to this point, so I don't expect